The Roth IRA is one of the most powerful tools in building wealth. And if you've never heard of a Roth IRA, today I'm going to explain exactly why you should open a Roth IRA and how a Roth IRA can make you a millionaire. Welcome to the ultimate Roth IRA guide. So the first thing to understand with the Roth IRA is it's a great way to shelter your investments from taxes. The reason why is you're going to take money that you've already been taxed and you're going to put it in a Roth IRA. Now that money grows tax-free and you can take the money out tax-free. Now this is an extremely powerful thing because if you max out a Roth IRA every single year, then you can have $1 million Roth IRA account over the course of 35 years. And what happens here is of that $1 million, $800,000 of that $1 million is tax-free money. Why? Because that is what the growth amount is in your Roth IRA over that time frame. Now, the way I run these numbers is investing it into a S&P 500 index fund. And if you don't know what that is, we have a video. I'll link it down below so you can check it out. But this is how powerful this account can be because investing small amounts of money over time can grow to large amounts of money. Now, to have a Roth IRA, you have to have earned income. Now, the key to this earned income is you have to make at least an equal amount or more than what you contribute to the Roth IRA. So say, for example, you're in high school and you can only contribute $3,000 to a Roth IRA because you made $3,000. You can't contribute any more than that $3,000. In addition, Roth IRAs are a great tax benefit because they have no required minimum distributions, meaning you don't have to start drawing down on a Roth IRA at a certain age and time. And that is why it's another incredibly powerful retirement tool. Now, to max out a Roth IRA, there's a certain limit every single year, and it keeps going up over time. First it was $5,500, then it's $6,000. Now it goes up over time as time goes on. So I will leave a link down below so you can check out the latest limits of how much you can put in a Roth IRA every single year. And one thing to note is that if you're over the age of 50, you can have a catch-up contribution as well. So you can actually contribute more to a Roth IRA than someone who is under 50. So I'll leave a link below as well to that catch-up contribution so you can check that out. Now, how do you open a Roth IRA? What you do is you go to a bank or a brokerage and you ask them to open a Roth IRA. So for example, there's a number of places you can do this. You can do this at Schwab, you can do this at Fidelity, you can do this at Vanguard, but my favorite is M1 Finance. I'll leave them down below so you can check them out. And what you do is you open a Roth IRA, then you can start contributing money to a Roth IRA. What you want to do inside of that Roth IRA is once you contribute money, you want to make sure that you invest that money. Now, when you invest in a Roth IRA, you want to make sure you're investing those dollars in things that are going to grow for the long term. There's a number of great investments that you can look into, from target date retirement funds, to index funds, to ETFs, to dividend stocks, to growth stocks. All of these are fantastic in a Roth IRA, especially if you're planning on holding those investments for a long period of time. So do your research, see which options fit best for you in your Roth IRA for the long haul. But then the question comes up, well, who is eligible for a Roth IRA? So you can actually make too much money and you're not eligible for a Roth IRA. But there's a way around that called the backdoor Roth IRA. Now, we've made a video on the backdoor Roth IRA. I'll link it down below as well so you can check that out. But the backdoor Roth IRA is a fantastic way for high earners to actually get their money into an IRA. Now, there are income limits, and every year those income limits go up. At the time I'm recording this video, I can tell you what the income limits are, but make sure you're checking the income limits every single year so that you can see what they are. So at the time I'm recording this, if you're married, you have to make $204,000 or less to contribute to a Roth IRA. And if you're single, you have to make $144,000 or less to invest in the Roth IRA. But like I said, check the link below. Make sure that that's the contribution limit for that year so you can check that out. Now, in addition, how much can you actually put in a Roth IRA? At the time of recording this, you could put $6,000 in a Roth IRA. And if you're over the age of 50, you could put $7,000 a year in a Roth IRA. Now, to put it simply, you can invest $500 a month in a Roth IRA if you're under the age of 50. And what can this $500 a month do for you? Well, over time, if you invest that $500 a month over the course of 35 years in an S&P 500 index fund and you get a 10% rate of return, then you will be a millionaire, a Roth IRA millionaire by the time you retire. Now, to withdraw money from a Roth IRA, there's a couple of ways to do this. One of the cool things about the Roth IRA is when you put money into a Roth, the money that you put into a Roth, you can withdraw without penalty. And then the money that grows in the Roth IRA, you can withdraw with penalty, a 10% penalty, up to the age of 59 and a half. Now, once you become 59 and a half, then you can take that money out without penalty because this account is meant to be a retirement account. Now, make sure you check out the Backdoor Roth IRA episode because I talk about how to get that money out early if you're planning on retiring early or needing that money early as well. Listen, I hope you guys learned about what a Roth IRA is and the power of a Roth IRA. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. If you like this video, here are a couple more videos that I know you're going to love. Thank you guys again so much for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next video.